Hey guys, so we are getting started with week 8 of our distance learning. Today we're going to be talking about the surface area of rectangular prisms. So we've done perimeter area, volume, and now we're looking at the surface area. So this is going to be for 3D figures. Okay, so the surface area of a solid is the sum, so adding them up, of the areas of the faces. So the faces of a solid are just going to be all the different sides of it, okay? And there are two ways you can do this. The first way you can do it is doing it the net way, which we're going to talk about in a second, or you can use the formula. Okay, so the surface area of rectangular prisms, obviously a prism, it's a three-dimensional figure with rectangular lateral faces. So you look at all the different sides, imagine you were holding a box, there would be 6 different sides that you could touch that are all rectangles in their own shape. So the length of a prism, all of these are going to be the same word. It is the distance left to right. Okay? The height of a prism, it's the distance between the top and the bottom. Oh wait, keep thinking of a box. And then the width of the prism is the distance between the front and the back. Okay? So the first way that we can find the surface area is using a net. And the way we use a net is, I'm going to say, think of this piece that I'm coloring in. That's our back piece. Okay, so I'm going to draw that right here. Okay, that's this piece right here. I'm removing everything else from it. Okay, if you notice, this distance, think of a box, is going to be the same as this distance. Still going to be 3, which is going to be the same as this distance. Okay, so this is 3 centimeters. This is 3 centimeters. Okay. This height right here is 12 centimeters. It tells us that. Now, what you can do is say, well, what if I were to open up this box and lay it flat? So then I have this top piece right here. If I were to open that up, it would lay like this. Okay, this side right here is now this side laying flat. That's going to be 4 centimeters. I can do it at the top. I can also do it down here at the bottom with this piece. If I rip that open, it would lay like that, 4 centimeters. Okay. Then I could take this side of the box and open it up that way. This would still, this side now, if you think about it, that's one of my 4 centimeter sides. And its height is 12 centimeters. Okay, I'm going to erase everything, that way you can kind of start to see it. Then I have this side on the other one. That would be right here. Again, 4 centimeters by 12 centimeters. And then I have this front one. That would be my last one. 4 centimeters by 12 centimeters. Okay, so then what you would do is individually find the areas of each of those rectangles. So 12 times 4 is 48. 3 times 12 is 36. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 12 is 48. 4 times 12 is 48. So you would find the area of each of those rectangles individually, or you would just say to yourself, well, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself actually. You would do that and then you're going to add all of them up. So 48 plus 12 plus 12 plus 48 plus 48 plus 36. And when you do that, you should get the surface area to equal 204 centimeters squared, because it is an area. Even though it's a 3-dimensional figure, we're just caring about the area. We're not caring about the 3-dimensional space that it takes up. Okay? So that's using the net. That can be a little confusing. The other way is to use the formula. So the formula for the surface area of any rectangular prism, the surface area is equal to 2 times the width times the length plus 2 times the length times the height plus 2 times the height times the width. And the reason for that, the width times the length is going to be this box here, which is duplicated up here. The length times the height is this front box right here, which is duplicated in the back right there. And then lastly, my height times my width is that side right there and that side right there. So it accounts for all 6 of the sides. That's why we do it that way. So to find the surface area of the same exact prism, instead of having to do the net, I can plug it into this formula. So I have my length, my width, and my height. So my surface area is equal to 2 times 4 times 3 plus 2 times 3 times 12 plus 2 times my height, which is 12, and my width, which is 4. And my apologies, guys. I'm just realizing that I actually made a mistake when I was doing the net. Okay, so if we can actually go back to the net really quickly, remember how I always mess up and you guys are normally in front of me to correct me? So this one right here, which was this last box, should have been a 3 centimeter by 12 centimeter. And I'm hoping some of you guys caught on to that. I'm hoping some of you guys caught on to that because that distance was 3 centimeters. That was this distance right here. So this actually would have been 36. So this surface area should actually be 192 centimeters squared. My apologies for that. I was just looking at it. I knew something looked wrong. Hopefully some of you guys are like, wait a second, that doesn't seem right. So hopefully you see where my mistake was. So back to the formula. The surface area would be 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 3 is 24, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 12 is 72, 2 times 12 is 24, 24 times 4 is 96. So add those all up. And you get 192 centimeters squared. But you should, because it should be the same exact thing for both of those if I didn't make the mistake in the beginning. So obviously you can see formula is the much easier way to go. It's a lot less error, as you can see the error that I clearly made. Okay, so let's look at some examples. We're going to find the surface area of the prism using a net or the formula. I'm going to do the formula. If you prefer the net, you are more than welcome to. Okay, so we have length, we have width, we have height. So I'm just going to use the formula. Surface area is equal to 2 times the width, which is 9, times the length, which is 12, plus 2 times the length, which is 12, times the height, which is 2, plus 2 times the height, which is 2, and the width, which is 9. Okay, the order in which you do it in does not matter as long as you get all 3 of those parts. So from there, we're going to do some multiplication. 2 times 9 times 12 is 216, plus 2 times 12 is 24, times 2 is 48, 2 times 2 is 4, times 9 is 36, and add those up to get 300 feet squared for your surface area. So let's look over here at number 2. Again, I have my length, my width, my height. So my surface area is equal to 2 times my length, which is 4, my width, which is 4.5, plus 2 times my length, which is 4, times my height, which is 2.5, plus 2 times my width, which is 4.5, times my height, which is 2.5. So my surface area, 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 4.5 is 36. Plus 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 2.5 is 20. 2 times 4.5 is 9. 9 times 2.5 is 22.5. And add all of those up. So you're going to have 36 plus 22.5 plus 20. and we're going to get 78.5 centimeters squared for our surface area. Last problem. What is the minimum amount of wrapping paper needed to completely cover the gift box shown below? So what we're going to do is find the surface area, because obviously the wrapping paper needs to cover the surface area. So let's start with that. Okay, so I have my length, my width, my height. So my surface area, 2 times my length, which is 18, times my width, which is 10, plus 2 times my length, which is 18, times my height, which is 9, plus 2 times my width, which is 10, times my height, which is 9. So my surface area is equal to 2 times 18 times 10, 360, plus 2 times 18 times 9, which is 324. From there is 2 times 10, which is 20. 20 times 9 is 180. And then add those up. We're going to get my surface area is 864 inches squared. So what is the minimum amount of wrapping paper needed? That would be D, and that is like it's going to fit perfectly. The edges would line up. You would have no extra. Okay? But that is technically the minimum amount of wrapping paper that you would need to completely cover the gift box that is shown. Okay? So hopefully these notes weren't too bad. Again, it was just a lot of formulas. And if you have any questions for me, we will be meeting soon. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.